Breaking news now. 2 police officers have been shot in western Pennsylvania, and the gunman is on the run. We just learned about an hour ago that one of those officers has died. It happened in Cannonsburg, about 20 miles southwest of Pittsburgh. Police say they were ambushed while responding to a domestic call. Schools in the area have been canceled. Police are telling residents in the area to stay indoors and keep their doors locked while SWAT teams work the scene. There's no suspect description at this time. Stay with News Channel 5 for updates. And breaking news here, 2 fires on the same block have sparked a possible arson investigation in North Nashville.
Yeah, News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy following the latest at the scene there. And Dan, these things are awfully close together. That always raises a red flag.
Yeah, certainly when it happens at the same time, same block, it certainly raises some red flags, as you mentioned. This is some of the damage we're starting to see. This is just a city issued trash can, but it just goes to show how intense some of the flames were. This is a house on St. Louis Street, and it was the detached garage behind the house that caught fire about 2:30 this morning. You see that car is ruined. It's still smoking. And then over in the neighbor's yard where they have kids' toys in one of their cars, well, that car seems to be destroyed as well. This is a look at some of the flames from about 2:30 this morning when fire crews first got the call out here. You see the detached garage fully involved, and then when crews arrived on the scene, they saw that maybe about 100 yards away down an alley, there was a second fire. They went up there to investigate, pulled their hose lines down, and saw that there was a mattress on fire. So they extinguished the detached garage, then they worked on the mattress fire, and now it's up to fire investigators to determine what exactly happened. Back out here live this morning, nobody was hurt in all this, but the vinyl siding on the neighbor's house is also was affected in the flames, just to show exactly how intense it was, because that was about 15 yards away from where this detached garage first caught fire. Investigators tell me they're going to be back out here with sunrise this morning as they began to answer the question of what exactly caused these 2 fires. Reporting live in North Nashville, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
All right, Dan, thanks so much. A gunman is on the run this morning while one victim is recovering in the hospital. News Channel 5's Sophie Nielsen-Colding is live for us at University Medical Center, Vanderbilt University Medical Center. And that is not where this victim started the evening, right, Sophie?
That's right. Lots of movement for this victim. He was shot in Hermitage, then taken to TriStar Summit out there in Hermitage, and then doctors made the call to bring him over here to Vanderbilt University Medical Center, which is where he is recovering right now. The shooting itself happened just before 9 o'clock in the 700 block of Margaret Robinson Drive. Evidence on the scene pointed to at least 2 bullet holes in the back of a car. The glass was shattered. Police rushed to that scene and taped it off, and as you can see, crime scene investigators are going through it piece by piece, collecting all of the evidence he can. As for the victim, police say that he was shot in the shoulder, but they think that he's going to be okay. They're calling his injuries non-life-threatening, so that's some good news for that victim. As for the shooter, though, we have not received any kind of description on the gunman or if he was driving a car or what direction he may have taken off on, so detectives continue to work on that this morning as their investigation continues. Live in Nashville, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.
Sophie, thanks so much. And more breaking news this morning. A woman injured in a crash overnight south of downtown. Officers on the scene say she crashed into a pole and was pinned in the car. Luckily, officers were able to get her out. She went to the hospital and should be all right. Amy?
Returning to politics now, and as the nation accepts the Donald Trump presidency, many have done this. They've taken to the streets to protest the election. Boston, New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and right here in Music City. Those are just a few of the places where thousands of protesters marched and chanted about the president-elect. Some were upset and some excited about the election results.
This is a mistake, and I need to show up and show my solidarity.
I want them to give him a chance because they're going to see he's going to make a change, and we need it desperately.
Trump will become only the 5th president to ever win the White House without winning the popular vote. And while Tennessee voters overwhelmingly voted for Trump, Davidson County was one of 4 counties to vote blue. And yesterday, Fisk University students walked out of class, sparking an anti-Trump protest that brought hundreds downtown.
This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like.
Demonstrators were upset about the results from Tuesday's election, calling Trump divisive and a tyrant. They worry he will ignore minority voices when he takes office.
everything that he represents for right now is not progressive. It's just showing us that we don't live in a post-racial America. We'd rather have 4 years of resistance than 4 years of Donald Trump.
Protesters blocked several intersections on Charlotte as they marched to the state capitol. No one was hurt, though, and the march ended peacefully. Steve?
All right, Amy, after a grueling election season, the focus has now turned to trying to unite the country. In Tennessee, some top Republican lawmakers, they struggled with Trump's candidacy, and they were public about it. Now both parties are rallying behind the president-elect.
You know, being in the minority is never good for any democracy when there is one party that is completely in the minority.
And as Hillary Clinton said, it's time to wish him the best and hope that our country succeeds, and I think it will.
And coming up in about 10 minutes, we're going to take a look at what Donald Trump is hearing as he travels to Washington, D.C. today and what's expected. Also happening today, we expect to learn when the third Vanderbilt rape trial will be getting underway, the third defendant anyway. Prosecutors are hoping that this man, Brandon Banks, will be going on trial in June for his alleged involvement in that dorm room rape of a female student. Still no word yet on the trial status of the fourth defendant, Jaborian McKenzie. Two other defendants have already been convicted, Corey Beatty and Brandon Vandenberg. They were both convicted of several charges after their trials were split last year. They are both right now serving time in prison. Well, the man accused of raping a teenage nanny in a Nashville park is expected in court today. Dennis Ramos Montes will appear before a judge for a hearing. DNA evidence linking him to the attack of the 19-year-old at the Hamilton Creek Park back in July. News Channel 5 will be in the courtroom. You can download our app for updates.
We now know the name of the Clarksville woman who died after crashing into a utility pole. Teresa Van Allen's car swerved off the road at Alfred Toon Road and Corporate Parkway Boulevard. That was Tuesday night. She hit a pole and brought down power lines. If anyone has any information about the crash, call Clarksville Police.